Hi everyone, Ashley here and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. If you're a regular follower of my channel, you probably have noticed that I've taken a bit of a hiatus from posting videos here. So I am super happy to be back to share this fun rainbow balloon themed card with a lot of different supplies from Fawn. So without further ado, let's get into it. To start, I'm building the sky background. So for this I'm just using a cloud stencil. I believe this one is from My Favorite Things, and a couple different colors of distress ink. And I'm just rotating the stencil one at a time by 90 degrees, and then taking my foam blending tools and blending on those distress oxide ink colors. The bottom I started with Salty Ocean, and at the top is Tumbled Glass. And by the way, if you do want to see a full supply list, definitely check out the description of the video below. To add some extra interest, I splattered out some liquid Stardust as well as some white ink onto the background here, just using my acrylic block and a paintbrush. So I just dabbed both the liquid Stardust and that white ink onto the acrylic block and splattered it out with my paintbrush. And this is the fun splattery effect that you get, which I thought just adds a nice level of interest to that sky. Next, I'm stamping out all the images that I'll need on this card. And for this I used a stamping technique where I kept the stamps in place but just moved my paper. And this is really a great way to use your Mini Misty stamping tool, because you don't even have to move the stamps, and you can get repeated stamping over and over just by moving your paper. So I started by stamping those stamps in the middle of the paper and just moved the paper down once and then up once to get the same stamps stamped out twice more. I then wanted a couple more balloons and a couple of the little critters, so I arranged those at the top of my paper there where there was some empty space left and stamped them out as well. And for everything, I'm stamping it out twice just to get a nice, clean, crisp black image using some Copic friendly black ink. I'm then going to go ahead and color in all of these images with my Copic markers. I wanted the balloons to be rainbow, so I colored each one a different shade of the rainbow, starting with red and then going all the way down to pink at the bottom. For each of the images, I'm adding in some accents using a white gel pen, and just kind of adding a couple little accent lines where the light would be hitting the image. I'm going to go ahead and play some music while the coloring wraps up here, so definitely feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy the coloring. If you don't want to watch the coloring, of course, feel free to jump ahead in the video and you'll see the rest of the card come together after. Okay, so now all the coloring is done and I can go ahead and assemble the rest of the card. I cut out a couple of clouds out of white paper as well as some out of white sparkle paper. And on the ones that are made of white paper, I'm just stamping different parts of the sentiment. So I stamped "It's Your Birthday" on one cloud and "Yay" on another cloud. I also went ahead and cut out a piece of white sparkle paper using the Fawn Puffy Clouds border die and cut it down to fit the bottom of the card there. And I'm going to glue that down to the panel to make it part of the scene. For the rest of the images, I just sort of arranged them on the card front, as you can see here roughly, and I'm going to go ahead and use a combination of liquid glue and foam squares to tape and glue all of them down. So the clouds I mostly used glue just so that they lie flat against the background, and the balloons and critters I used foam squares so that they would be elevated and sort of popped off the card base just to add a little bit of interest and dimension to the card. I'm speeding through the process here because it does get a bit repetitive, but I think the important thing to note is just that I use that combination of liquid glue for some of the elements and foam squares for the other ones. For those thin balloon strings, I did use foam squares, but I had to cut down those little foam squares to be quite thin to fit behind them so that they'd be hidden. It is a little bit cumbersome, but I think the effect at the end is worth it. So at the end of the day, all the images are glued down to that card front, and I can go ahead and add some extra little touches. I used my Wink of Stella glitter brush pen to add a layer of sparkle onto all of the balloons just to give them some extra shimmer. And I added a scattering of iridescent sequins as well, and for each one of those I just dabbed a little dab of multi-medium matte liquid glue onto the card base and then stuck the sequin down using my tweezers. And I found that this is a great way to stick sequins down because even if a little bit of glue does squeeze out, you don't see it because it is matte, which is really nice. Off camera, I also went ahead and glued the whole panel down onto a white card base. So that is the final card for today. As I rotate it in the light there, you can see all the sparkle that comes from the Wink of Stella, as well as that glitter paper and the spattering of glitter that I put in the background. So lots of glitter in this one, but that's what I like. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of my cards, head over to my Instagram account, which is linked down in the description box below. If you like this video, do go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you here next time. Bye!